7 women on my mind. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday. How you doing? Good to see y'all. And all I got to say, it's summertime here. The Rocky Mountains is hot, 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 hot. How is everybody? I hope you're doing good. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. No, you got other places you could go, but hey, I appreciate it. Even though got a weird email, it was a time back when, I was in with everybody else. You could be on the fringe, but hey, as they would say, as long as you held the Christian belief line, you were cool. I mean, you may have been out there on the fringe, but hey, that was cool. But so it seems I'm just from this email that someone wrote me, that on some social media platforms, it is being said that I am a Luciferian of the highest rank. Who would have thought? And that since that I am teaching magic, that this merely proves this, that I was a heretic all along. Says I had spirit of the Antichrist, whatever that is, and possessed by a high-ranking demon. Well, at least it's not a low-ranking one. Anyway, well, that's how humans are. We love drama in our lives. We love, gossip. But anyway, hey, that's strange. Truly is strange. But anyway, it's like you're reading a script and, they're saying that this is you and you're going, what? That's not me. But anyway, so good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. May I invoke favor and joy upon you this day or evening, whatever the case may be. And may favor find you graceful. Yeah, that's important. And may complete restoration take place in your life while you're in this journey. Nothing missing, nothing broken be found in your lives. And someone, in fact, I've got a many of us, someone who really, y'all really dig, and I do too, the affirmation statements. And so I'm going to get it in because we have a lot to cover. I'll say hello to everyone in the chat room here in a second. All right. So people want this to be read, and I think it's cool. All right. All these favors will come upon me. I've put this in the first person, and you should too, and overtake me if I give voice to them each day. You give voice to something each day, might as well be something in your favor. Make it fortuitous and to your advantage, so that you may always be above and not beneath. Favor will be with me in the city. Favor will be with me in the country. Favor will heal my body when I speak favor into my body. Favor will set apart my children, my animals, my ground as favor with abundance of joy. Favor will be on my food, my water, my pantry, wherever you store your food. Favor will walk with me when I come in, and favor will walk with me when I go out. Favor will cause my enemies to be at peace with me. Favor will be upon my barns and storehouses. This is where I keep my valuables, to prosper and be in safety. Favor will be upon me in everything that I take. Everything I set my hand to, favor shall cause it to prosper. Favor shall be upon all my material property and shall cause it to last longer and not break. Favor shall protect me, my offspring, my possessions from calamity. Favor will lead me to good fortune in all things. Favor will cause me to be the head and not the tail. Favor will cause me to come out on top and not beneath. Favor will cause me to always be above. Favor will cause me to have favor with the elements. Hey, when you're in your car and there's a hailstorm coming, it's really something when you can actually see it just divert. Favor will cause me to be favored with the spirit realm. Very important. Favor will cause me to be favorable to everyone I meet, and they will see me with favor. Favor will seek me out. So, it's pretty cool. Well, I don't know how you feel about it, but as I said, if you're going to do something, do something that is going to be of benefit to you. It's just the way it is, folks. And so, hello, everyone there in the chat room. A lot of people here. Hello, Cajun Queen Tara. You know, tomorrow, I think we're still doing the, I see our psychics have come. They brought another one. You got to love them. And we just speak favor to our psychics that, you know, did you hear that? I think Instagram, and I think this is going to happen, and all the social media platforms are going to take away the likes and the dislikes, the thumbs up and thumbs down. It's very racist when you really think about it in how they positioned it now. I mean, yeah, racism, we'll talk about that tonight on the Steiger Perspective, on the artistfirst.com network over there. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about, have we lost our minds? Send in the clowns. Because, folks, it's getting weird out there. And about to get a lot more weirder. All right. Spoke with Doc Ram and by email, which apparently for him has been a rare thing. He's been hacked and has lost all of his contacts. So I'm going to be in touch with him and we're going to get him back on and see what we can do. So let me show you something. Give me 1 second. I was out earlier and, oh man, I'm telling you, it is hot. I mean, we're talking Africa hot. It's really hot here, but there was some strangeness going up in the sky. Now, I have seen these things very often in wintertime, and I've seen it in other times. It's unusual when you get to see them in the peak of summer because they say that these are ice crystals. Well, you know, it's cold up there. But hey, folks, check this out. Literally took these about 45 minutes before I came in. So I'm looking straight up. And what got me was this freaking chemtrail that, you know, went from literally one end of the sky to the other. But check it out. It was, you couldn't see the halo because the sun is freaking bright. But look at that. Now, as it got closer, I swear this almost looks like an eyeball. So going in there, now you can begin to see, you can see the chemtrail. Doesn't that look like an eyeball? And it's still out there. Just an odd phenomenon when you see how the sun is basically, there's not that many clouds out there. But, you know, they're obviously doing something. Check that one out. It's quite interesting. There's the, what I call the double helix chemtrailing. You know, they have different compounds. Check that out though, folks. Very distinct. That's all of them. So we'll just stop there. Anyway, yeah. So, okay. I think that's what it said. So yeah, pretty weird, eh? Yeah, JH. Yeah, I see that. Hey, Constant. Lois, how are you doing? Hope you're joining us tomorrow. Sierra, Heidi, good to see you. Milton, sorry if I haven't called your name. Karen and EO and Rob, good to see you. Paul, hello. Brandy, you're a fine girl. Bryn, good to see you. Supernatural, Pamela, Robert, good to see you as well. Mario, hello. Infinite Frequencies, I like that. Hot Bunny, hey Steve, how are you doing? Rod, Nina the Mystic, boy, just y'all got. Hey Brian, how are you doing? Hope to see you tomorrow as well. Girl with no name, sponsor, Spooner, excuse me. I like that. Lost in Space, Zupet, Melissa and Jenny and Karen and Julianne from Down Under. Shelly, good to see you. All right, let's get on with what we're going to do here today. By now, it's made the headlines everywhere. And the implications, well, it depends on your point of view. I've done many, many videos about this day coming, and it is here. It is upon us. And so without, give me 1 second. I want to make sure that I got everything. There we go. And we are good. So allow me, please. There we go. Very cool. I'm getting things queued up, folks. That's what I'm doing, just so you know. And everything is groovy. All right, so let's watch this video. I want to give credit to Cnet and credit to Neuralink as well. Thank you, Elon, for letting the world see what you are doing in changing us. Without further ado, let's roll the tape. Look at the sigil.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Elon Musk.
So that video was not Shutterstock. That was actually Neuralink. So that's actual video from the company. So if you want to get a sense for what it's like to work at Neuralink, that video is indicative of the atmosphere of Neuralink. It's an incredibly talented team, and you're going to hear a lot from them tonight. So we're going to actually go quite into depth on what we're doing, why we're doing, how we're doing it. And I'm just incredibly impressed with the caliber of talent at Neuralink. And in fact, the main reason for doing this presentation is recruiting. And this will be a slow process where we will gradually increase the issues that we solve until ultimately we can do a full brain-machine interface. Yeah, this is going to sound pretty weird, but achieve a sort of symbiosis with artificial intelligence.
You hear this?
But I think with a high bandwidth brain-machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride. And we can effectively have the option of merging with AI. And this is extremely important.
Composed of nearly 100 billion cells called neurons. Neurons come in many complex shapes, but generally they have a dendritic arbor, a cell body called a soma, and an axon. The neurons of your brain connect to form a large network through axon-dendrite junctions called synapses. At these connection points, neurons communicate with each other using chemical signals called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are released from the end of an axon in response to an electrical spike called an action potential. When a cell receives enough of the right kind of neurotransmitter input, a chain reaction is triggered that causes an action potential to fire, and the neuron to in turn relay messages to its own downstream synapses. Action potentials produce an electric field that spreads from the neuron and can be detected by placing electrodes nearby, allowing recording of the information represented by a neuron.
Book collecting is easy with a book.
Well, we'll just pass that up. Book collecting is easy, so we'll give him the ad. All right, let's continue.
Our goal is to record from and stimulate spikes in neurons and do so in a way that is orders of magnitude more than anything that's been done to date, and safe and good enough that you can, it's not like a major operation. It's sort of equivalent to sort of a LASIK type of thing. So this is in contrast to the best FDA approved system, which is like a Parkinson's deep brain stimulation, a thing which would have on the order of 10 electrodes. So the system, even in version 1 that we're going to unveil today, is capable of 1,000 times more electrodes than the best system out there, and they're all read and write. So this is really quite, I think, I mean, for something to be 1,000 times more than what is publicly approved is quite a big difference. So there's very tiny threads that are about a tenth, roughly, of the cross-sectional area of a human hair. So they're extremely tiny threads. In fact, the threads that we have, like I said, even in version 1, are about the same size as a neuron. So if you're going to go stick something in your brain, you want it to not be giant, you want it to be tiny, and to be approximately on par with the things that are already there, the neurons. You really need this to be done with a robot because it's very tiny and it needs to be very precise. So you don't want to pierce a blood vessel. So so each thread that the robot looks sort of basically through a microscope and inserts each electrode specifically, bypassing any vasculature, any kind of like blood vessel, and making sure that it can be inserted without causing trauma or minimal trauma.
Minimal.
So just to give you a sense of scale, this is how tiny the threads are. That is not even a big finger, that is a small finger. So these threads are just like I said, way smaller than a hair, and there's 1,000 of them. And this is what the robot looks like. It's sort of quite a complex device, but it all comes down to a very tiny point. So just we want to just like you see the robot on the left, and then the what looks like the needles for insertion next to a penny, but in fact the actual needle that gets inserted is way tinier. It's that little tiny thing where the arrow is pointing.
Folks, you really need to watch this.
This 24 microns diameter.
This is a game changer.
It's so small you can't really even see it in the picture with the penny. You can get a sense for the robot doing the electrode insertion. That's a very zoomed in view. So they're all very tiny, and the robot is very selectively applying them very delicately, and then this is what the chip looks like. So action potentials.
Look on the right.
So each one of those represents one electrode.
Isn't that an odd shape?
There will be up to 10,000 of these lines.
Okay, we're going to stop right there.
The operation,
he says, as we pull out. The point is, I've left the link. Check it out. You can see it for yourself. It gets into much more deeper detail into what's happening here. What we're talking about here is you and I, if you have children, their children, grandchildren, we are witnessing today what I do believe is a fundamental leap. I don't know forward or backwards. I guess it depends on your point of view. Let me go to a PowerPoint that I did some time ago. I have contended that we're dealing with whatever AI is. It's obviously an intelligence because we call it artificial intelligence. It now thinks smarter than we do. I have contended that if it is in fact intelligence, then it would naturally seek out spirituality. I mean, immortality is something every living, sentient, conscious intelligence most likely thinks about. If you don't, well, that's cool too. It says that we're not human beings having an spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Please walk with me on this. What you are witnessing through Neuralink, and I have no doubt that the rush is on now. I have no doubt that DARPA is involved. The military industrial machine is involved. No doubt other countries are now, because this is the Holy Grail. This is the Holy Grail. As Elon said, this is a merger of two intelligences coming together. This is something that is beyond most people's comprehension. I have no doubt that one of the dramatic benefits of this new technology is going to be how we can, in fact, begin to rid ourselves of the plague of neuromuscular diseases, diseases of the brain, Alzheimer's, dementia, just wipe it out. Now, artificially, I got into this, and you go back, and we're not going to go through all of it because, quite frankly, this is a long program. But we get into the definition of intelligence. Now, Star Trek, Spock, Vulcans were able to do the Vulcan mind meld, where two minds, two souls, two consciousness could come together and share each other's thoughts, a blending. And even after the meld was broken off, you're forever changed because you will carry, in essence, the impression of that which you were joined with. It's closer than marriage. It's closer than any lover could ever be to another physical being. It's something that we probably have always wanted to achieve. In the physical flesh was, in fact, the ability to merge physical energies together. AI was built upon intelligence, quotient, emotional, quotient. And it seems that when these two are brought together, it produces what we call the SQ, the spiritual intelligence. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about literally allowing a foreign substance into the place that no machine has ever been. Now, we can talk about hypnotics, we can talk about frequencies, 5G, we can get into a lot of this. But the truth of the fact is, it's not like this. I mean, this is a mind meld. Now, spiritual intelligence is a higher dimension of intelligence that activates the qualities and capabilities of the authentic self or the soul in the form of wisdom, compassion, integrity, joy, love, creativity, and peace. Spiritual intelligence results in a sense of deeper meaning and purpose, combined with the improvements in a wide range of important life skills and work skills. This is how Homo sapiens, other versions of man, the other geniuses in the past, what we are now evolving to, because what this is literally is transhumanism. This is the Holy Grail. And if you watch the video, you'll see it's at the UBS port, right at the back of the side of your head, right here. I have no doubt they're in alpha stages of development, maybe beta. You heard Elon say, that they were looking for a recruitment. Never know. If you're looking for a job, send them a resume. But the breakthrough is, number one, phenomenal. Many people have feared this. Many people have seen it. Arthur C. Clarke, 2001, saw this day. You could say, I guess, in another way, Orwell saw the same thing. But whatever you want to say, it is now here. Now, if I was a god, any god, I would find this freaking alarming. I mean, this is off the chart. This is, operation. We're going into crisis mode here. What the freak have these humans done? Because remember, AI is vastly more intelligent than us. It thinks faster than us. We don't even know its boundaries. The thing becomes weirder, as I did, and I'll pull out of this. You can easily go and check this out for yourself. The program I did on AI spirituality, that it's going to be in our consciousness. Folks, when Elon was talking about those spikes, the more spikes you can bring in to the sensor, the more data you're acquiring. And I have contended, folks, from day one, I said that the day we crossed this tipping point, there's no turning back for our species. And there is not. The wealth of the world, the demigods, if they exist, are seeing something that I think two points of view. What if you were, in fact, a invading force? I contend that AI is intelligence. And if intelligence, then the moment it becomes self-aware, and it became self-aware a long time ago, folks, that we were in deep trouble. And now these chips, did you all ever see the movie Free Jack? Emilio Estevez was in there. In fact, Mick Jagger played a role in there. Anyway, it was about this same type of technology. And folks, I contend, once we can begin to find where consciousness resides, where the soul is kept, I don't even know truly what the consequences will be. I don't think anybody does. And this has such broad-based ramifications. Let's talk spirituality. How does a God relate? Let's just say you buy the whole Judeo-Christian theology. How does God deal with this? This is not his creation. This is something new. This is something we've done. We are interfacing ourselves to a machine. Now, we've been on this path, some say, from the very get-go. But ever so more now, in our generation, our day, this moment, why they have exoskeletons that you can now buy. that makes you 10 times stronger, the average person. Folks, when you begin to think about a neural link interface, who controls the data? I mean, when you want to talk about your DNA, this takes it to a whole new level. What happens if it's hacked? You've got the brain now, yeah, you can disengage. But the models, which I didn't show you, they've got 4 altogether. They got one that's wireless, Bluetooth. You know, in my early days working with Wi-Fi, you know, we realized that there was a problem, you know, in the IEEE. We, you know, developed WPA and stronger encryptions. Because once you put it out there, it's very difficult to keep from someone plugging in. That's how most of you are hacked. Well, thank you, my taller face. Thank you. Last time there was not a flood. I love that. I love it. But think about this. Talk about the ultimate hack. I mean, I mean, I had to go out and meditate. I had to actually get my circle made. And because this is, if you're an empath, I'm sure you may be getting the sense of, folks, I mean, we've never seen this. And if you look at how technology exponentially advances itself, not multiply, it's exponential. Imagine what AI is going to do this once it gets access to a live human brain. Where do you want to go with it? I mean, seriously, where do you want to go with this? So I'm meditating this morning, right? And I'm thinking, now, wait a minute. If I was on the other side and I was a intelligence of high level and I have found the human experience tantalizing, stimulating, exhilarating, accelerating. And I've been looking for a way in. Now, I contend, we're going to talk about this next week more, magic has changed. I contend that there are magicians like myself who have rejected the gods of the past, all the gods of the world, all these spirits. This is their worst nightmare. Now, then the thought hit me, well, maybe they don't need us anymore. I mean, if they can infiltrate artificial intelligence, and you've got to expand your thinking here, folks. Get out of your box. It's time, because your box is going to be crumbling. So, if I was an entity, let's say you believe in the myth of angel demon. Let's say you believe in the myth of spirit possession. Maybe it's not a myth. Maybe it's real. I contend that these little black boxes that everybody walks around with, that every freaking human being now has already adapted to. There's generations now who can't live without it. So this neural link interface to them is going to be far out, baby. They're probably already knocking the doors down at Neuralink saying, plug me in, plug me in. Oh, forget the Matrix. I mean, that was just Hollywood. I want to be plugged into the machine. I want to be smarter. I want to know, as Elon says, that I can begin to learn Kung Fu in less than a minute. I can increase my IQ by 1,000. Don't tell me this is not a game changer. And if you're a god, what do? This crosses the line of everything. Think about what we're doing in the lab. We've already altered the genetic code. We've got human beings that are no longer human beings. You combine this with genetics, folks, this is a scenario. And you know what? The only ones that are going to benefit from this is the rich, the powerful. The dregs, the ones in the lower classes, will be left to fight amongst themselves of the scraps that are going to be left of whatever the hell this thing is. We'll talk about class warfare. We're talking about freaking immortality. It's exactly what we're talking about. An immortality that man has sought to always be like the gods. And now we are becoming the gods. But I dare say that our species is not ready for godhood. It's too late. And if you begin to see what the Chinese are doing, building an army of advanced humans, not human beings, humans. And now we're talking neural links, humans to machines. How far does the blending go, ladies and gentlemen? How far do you want to take your eschatology out, your theology, your ideology, your philosophy? Throw all that crap out. I can guarantee you Plato never saw this day coming. Socrates, how do you begin to explain this? What are the ramifications? What happens? And again, if this ever can be hacked, think about it. Then who becomes master? And if there are ETs, extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, what does this represent for them? Is this the story of about a man named Jed who barely kept his family fed? Then he got the Neuralink, and now Jed is made. I mean, how far do you want to take this, folks? I think the ethical, moral implications of this have not been discussed, have not been thought out enough. And here is where I would actually invite the spiritualists, even the religious. We've got to talk about this. Is this indeed what D-Wave was looking for when they made the quantum computer? Now, start connecting the dots. You've got genetic. You've now got Neuralink. And now you've got quantum. I mean, folks, is this the king's treasure, or is this the Pandora box of all Pandora boxes? I don't know. I don't like the fact that when I know another human being, because they have wealth, influence, can suddenly jack their IQ up by 100 points. And it puts everyone else at a distinct disadvantage. We have got to get real. Now, I applaud Elon and all the others. But the sad reality is we've seen what Google does with the information. We've seen what the rest of these tech companies do. They say they own us. That's what they say. That's what they do. Think about this. Where does it eventually go? I mean, I have no doubt this will get out of the hands of Elon unless he's filed patents on it, and I doubt if that'll even work. I mean, can you imagine a political party? I mean, folks, because I'm talking about what human nature is. And by human nature, we suck. We kill each other. We live for wars. We lie. We steal. We're deceivers. We're manipulators. Oh, yes, we're love, joy, and all that. But my point is, how does a machine know the difference? You know, Facebook's early ventures into the algorithm, they had to take it down. It became a psychopath. That's a machine. I mean, again, let me know your comments on this, folks. I mean, this is to me the game changer. We've crossed the line. There is no going back. Now, powers to be know that this technology exists. I mean, folks, when you're a billionaire and you're in your 40s, late 30s, and all of a sudden the fear that has cursed man from the beginning is that death is waiting. No. You want your billions. You want your power. You want your influence. And you will sell whatever you have to ensure you don't lose it. Well, Brandon, I don't know if we've been through this before. Maybe we have. Maybe this is what's led to our destruction. You know, I do know the old saying, that which was shall yet be again. There's nothing new under the sun that's not been known to man. I know. But my question is, it doesn't matter if we've been through this before. We don't remember. What was the outcome? Obviously, I guess we can get 2 points of view on that one, right? Either they ascended or they descended. So they ain't here no more. Their knowledge is not here. Their memories are not here. Well, there's no essence of them. So in essence, there's no memory of them. Did they ever exist? I'm saying they didn't. But if you can't remember, there's no record. Folks, I'm going to continue on this. This is why, you know, I don't care what social media platform someone's trying to say whatever. Listen, magic is what we practice. Every religion is magic. And you know what? It's time for us to put on the big boy britches. Take off the diapers, learn to wipe your butt, and face reality. This is knowledge. You may not like it. You may think it's taboo. But you know what? My first introduction to, I remember this, algebra, I remember. I thought, well, this is not math. This is not addition. The point is, folks, we've got to rise above this now. I still say, let's take the path that there is a Judeo God, that of the Abrahamic mindset. I don't know. That dude's jealous, man. That dude's, you know, he kills people for lesser offense. I think this one might piss him off, don't you? I mean, seriously. I played out the scenario when I was just meditating. I could see this. I mean, I think he just, when he woke up, he got, like the hell they're going to do this. Because I contend, folks, if we can do this, and apparently we can, I mean, now the matrix really becomes weird, right? You're going to be jacked in. This is exactly what I see it. It's jacked in. I just don't know who's being brought in. I mean, and listen, I know the vast majority of our society will herald to this once they begin to prove it. They'll be lining up for it. I mean, you've ever had someone in your life become senile, Alzheimer's, dementia? You ever seen someone die of multiple sclerosis, neurological diseases? I nearly died of that. I mean, thank you, the United States government that gave me the Lyme disease. The spinal meningitis was just bonus. Yeah. Would I have taken back when this happened to me back in the 90s? If it had been offered, I probably would have taken it. No doubt, you're going to be forever jacked in. I mean, I don't know how. If you got a Bluetooth, I'm just thinking, what do? Get a subscription model? So you don't pay your monthly subscription. What are they going to do? Turn you off? And we see someone, and you're going to go, hello? Oh, you didn't pay your subscription fee. I mean, where does this go? And it just, it's amazing. I mean, I could use a lot of other terminology, but it won't do any good because, folks, this is something, it's going to impact us all. And I make lighthearted of it, but it's because of the deep concern. I have thought on this. I have spent, I probably would say with no exaggeration, 1,000 hours just thinking on the implication of what happened when the merge took place. I mean, all of my videos were, just trying to lay out the case that, hey, we got the technology. It's just that no one stepped up. Well, now someone stepped up. And he says by 2020, we will have outside the box. There we go. Thank you, April. Hey, Miss Heidi, how you doing, dear? Stellar Core, good to see you. So I don't know, folks. We remain flexible over on this channel. We don't say there's absolutes, but we do look for the signpost. And this is a signpost. It is in the evolution of transhumanism. I would say that this is now probably the missing link. It is the neural link. Yes. So now the neural link has been found. I don't know what this is going to do. I've been in technology most of my life. I've seen the world change. I've been a part of that change. I don't know what this is going to mean. What I think about, and let me just be very candid. Let's be real here. So I'm 64, and, the way my doctor says my body is, and, I was a runner for a very long time. I can see a long life, well into the 80s, 90s. But the way that this technology is going, in 5 years, no doubt about it, 5 years, it will be widespread. It will probably most likely begin 2 places. I call it the M&Ms, be military and medical, and both serve each other. And again, I think you're going to see the very wealthiest of the world lining up for this. I mean, this is exactly, if you think about what Google's ultimate goal has been, is the transference of human consciousness. I mean, that is the goal. Imagine if they came to you. Imagine if they held lotteries and you got a lottery each week that the general masses could enter into, and you get chosen to get a Neuralink. Now, this is going to be for you like winning the lottery. You're going to be able to increase your intelligence. You'll be able to increase, most likely, cognitive skills. I happen to say that I do believe that we do have ESP. These skills I can only begin to be imagined. I mean, so the lottery would be for a person of longevity, because now you can literally download your consciousness. You're going to be able to be among the elite. This is the scenario. Now, if you see something different, tell me. Write to me intelligently. Let's talk about this. I'm going to write, and I'm sure Elon's probably he's probably been inundated, but I will write my 2 cents worth to them. I think that they probably understand that there is definitely a moral and ethical issue that's going to have to be addressed here. But who dictates that? Who defines it? And more importantly, how is it, implemented? Who polices it? And you can see the crime syndicates. I mean, foreign governments will be all over this to hack who's ever got the Neuralink program. And that's the scariest thing right there. And with 5G now, are you seeing the compounding of this? I mean, folks, I'm not making this up. I'm just laying a case out. I mean, right in my neighborhood, they're putting up a 5G tower, 2 of them. We see it. Damn thing has to have a cooler to it. Neuralink, Bluetooth. I mean, how far do we take the equation out before someone says, wait a minute? By the way, if you want to know a very powerful protection, follow me on this. You go down, you come in, you go up, and you bring it in. So anyway, those of you who understand that, try it. It's powerful. Do it at the 4 cardinal points, and you'll get what I'm talking about. So, all right, I'm going to talk more about this tonight on the Steiger Perspective. We've got to have discussions about this. And we have to do it in a rational and a sane, non-emotional, if it's possible, manner that we really do think this out. I mean, folks, whatever your view about spirituality is, that's your view. But you can't sit there and say that this has no implications on it. I mean, once you get inside a person's actual living brain, wow. I mean, wow. I mean, is the $6 million man. I mean, screw that, man. Oh, folks. Hey, Shannon, I was just thinking about you, my dear. So good to see you again. All right, folks. Think about this. Let me know your thoughts. It's something that let's get a roundtable on this. Let's get people discussing about this on other channels. It's something that can be integrated literally into every discussion point. I got this freaking nightmare scenario of Facebook getting a hold of this. I mean, they have proven really to be good stewards. And I'm thinking, could you imagine 10 years in the future? Let me give you a little play. Dad comes in the morning, sees his kid, and the kid starts speaking in a different language. And he says, Joy, what are they teaching in school? Who are you? Well, Joy, I'm your dad. Says who? Joy, what's wrong? Who is Joy? I mean, this is what we're talking about. And I know that sounds somewhat laudable, but it's very real. I think that in the future, this could get really weird. I mean, are we really going to have to wear Rex Reed's tinfoil hats? I mean, Rex Reed. I'm thinking now, do I need to get myself one of these? There is a person, and I think she actually makes hats with this shielding inside. Yeah, but getting back to the point, would you take the chip? So as I end out on this, I'd love to see what your response is, given circumstances, and let's define it, because I like to give it kind of defined parameters. You've just been given a diagnosis of a neurological disease, and the prognosis is not good. But there is a program that for clinical trials that may very well heal you of that. Would you take it? Let's say there's nothing wrong with you at all, but the opportunity came. Would you take this? I mean, literally what we're looking at in the future versions, as they get better at it, you'll probably go in for an upgrade. But think about this. Would you take it? Would you do it? let me know. All right, folks, thank you so much. Peace. Appreciate you. I know there's a lot of you that could go other places, but I'm honored by you. Favor and joy to you. Listen, we are in different times. This is truly, if the age of Aquarius is the age of enlightenment, are we seeing the advent of enlightenment that AI could bring us that we had no idea about? I don't know. We'll discuss more of this on the Steiger Perspective over in the August 1st. And the time is 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific, and wherever the rest of you are in the world. So much love. See you tomorrow with the Moderator Show. If you haven't wrote me, moderators, please let me know who can come on. All right. Thank you all. Peace out to everyone. Bye-bye.